in hand. Finger on the trigger and about to dispatch the field. Big lineup, 1,200 metres. They're ready. No light off though, none so spicy. First away into stride quickly as well, Delta Lass. Coming across Yankee Ace soon after the start up there as well as Rimby. And behind those driving forward, six-shooter Dubai's Daughter coming right across the face of the field with Boys Light Up next of all. They're followed further back in a very compacted field. Run Along John. Heavy Metals out there in no man's land as they settle down. Back there as well as Surround Me in heavy congestion. And back behind those Shea Fagata, a length and a half off them came Mistress of Success, the newcomer. Also Adroit well back. Then Hot Like Chili, who's well off those as they come down the side. Flying Flynn back towards the tail end of the field, and Sky River amongst the last of them. At the 400 metre mark though, and Dubai's Daughter from the outside, the extreme outside, worked its way to the lead when they'd settled down. Six-shooter though is in pursuit. Run Along John battles away, and here comes Heavy Metal. Not really tested at the moment though by Fiore, ranging up and going to the lead with six-shooter. 150 to go. Heavy Metal and six-shooter. They've gapped the other. Six-shooter now gets about a neck in front from Heavy Metal, who can't go on with the run, and six-shooter. Six-shooter pulls away in the late stages to beat Heavy Metal. None So Spicy was next home. Boys Light Up was fourth. They were followed back behind those to Surround Me, who'd gone into a fair bit of traffic in the early and middle part. Then Dubai's Daughter. Back in behind those, pulling up next of all, is Delta Lass, and they were followed by Adroit. Then Shea Fagata. Then Yankee Ace back in the field. Hot Like Chili was next home. Further back as well as Sky River when they'd pulled up. And then came Flying Flynn amongst the last. In towards the tail end is Mistress of Success. Number 6 is the winner. That is Six-shooter. Number 6, Six-shooter, beats Heavy Metal. Six-shooter and Heavy Metal gapping the others, but it was Six-shooter that, whilst meeting Heavy Metal on a little worse weight terms, took plenty out of its first up run when it had to work. And they weren't that far from each other at Bunbury. They haven't been far from each other today. None So Spicy on return was back there in third spot. Fourth home for Boys Light Up. 6, 11, 13 and 4 are the numbers after the running of race number 4. The interim placings, the winner, a 3-year-old by Shooting to win from that very good filly, the stakes winning filly in Kai Perinya, owned by Barry and Jan McCrosty, prepared down in the southwest by Michael Lane and Chris Parnham in the saddle. Was popular with punters today as well. They pitched up around 9.50 in the early call of the markets on this particular race. Opening today 4.60, jumping 3.70, so had Myra's galore. 11 Heavy Metal by Blue Point from Gold Edition, a 3-year-old filly trained by Luke Fernie, ridden by Lucy Fiore. Very good run, never really on the course. And 13 in None So Spicy, third by Gingerbread Man from There's None So Sassy, owned by Wally Daly from the yard of Sean and Jake Casey. Kesh Duran was in the saddle. Boys Light Up, fourth home. But in that big field there were a few parked a bit wide in running, but a fine win by Six-shooter at just its second career outing. Next of the day, with more to come on race 4, the Key Clean Handicap over 1600, and there are no changes out of the opening leg of the quaddie. Let's go with the margins and time. It's 3/4, 1 1/4 in 1:12.37, home in 35.33 as we head to Lockie, joining us in the yard.
Thanks, Darren, and I'm now joined by winning trainer Michael Lane. Mick, Six-shooter, second up here today. What did you make of his debut performance?
Yeah, I thought it was a great effort. He obviously, drew a bit awkward that day, and we got caught deep, but I thought he battled on well.
Today, he still had an awkward draw on paper, but Chris elected to roll forward. Nice to see that he has some versatility moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously Brad wanted to do that first up, but it just didn't work out. So it worked out today, and great ride by Chris, and good to get a winner.
What's he shown you and the team behind the scenes? What type of horse are we dealing with here?
Yeah, look, he's a nice horse to make. He's a big baby. He had a good gawk then when he got the front, as you can see. But look, I think he's got a bit of upside there. So he'll learn a lot from today, and we'll see where we go from today.
With that in mind, what do you do after today? Is he the type of horse that needs to improve with more racing, or is it a matter of giving him some time and we'll see a really nice horse in 6 to 12 months?
I think you're right there. He'll be a better horse in next prep. So we'll just play it by ear now, whether we go around again or we probably definitely go around again. But look, he'll definitely be a nicer horse next time.
And And a nice result to train a winner for the McCrosty family.
Yeah, great. For Jan and Barry, it's great to get a winner for him. And I'd like to thank Keith Reeves. He obviously adjusts horses for Barry and Jan for a long number of years, and he got me to come down and pick one out, and I picked this one, so I got it right for once. But a big thanks to Keith and their team down there. He does a great job with his horse at his adjustment place at Newmara Farm. And thanks a lot.
You're a pretty good judge, Laney. Well done.
Sometimes.
There's Michael Lane after the win of 6 Shooter, and here's Chris Parnham catching up with Scotty.
Just handing his helmet and his whip to Mr. Harold Taylor, jumping on the scales, and then we'll get a word from Chris after the victory here of 6 Shooter. Chris, you trialled this horse. He trialled really nicely and jumped aboard at start number 2, and he was too good for them.
Yeah, he was. I always liked him at the trials, and couldn't ride him first up, but watching the replay, he was still a really good run, and come here today into a maiden, and he was happy to ride the speed, and he was too strong for him.
Like he travelled up to them really powerfully, but Lucy was coming quickly on your outside.
She was, yeah. Felt her coming about the 200, and my bloke dug in a bit deeper, and it was a good solid win, and it's a good to get a win for Barry and Jan McCrosty, new clients of Michael Lane. So hopefully we can start a nice association.
What was the last couple of horses you would have ridden in these colours? Would have been a few years ago. Simon Miller, I'd imagine.
Rode one on Sunday, actually.
RWWA?
Yeah, it didn't work out. Michael wasn't too happy with my ride there, so hopefully this one cheers him up.
I remember those colours with Flirtini, Caipirinha, horses like that. Might have been back in the day, but well done here.
All right, cheers. Thanks.
There's Chris Parnham. Yes, Scott, it was a few years ago. No, 3 days ago, according to Chris Parnham. But he combines with Michael Lane and 6 Shooter to take out the 4th at Belmont Park. On the other side of the break, we'll be taking a look at the trial report from the Lark Hill set of trials on Monday morning with Tim Walker and Digby Beecham.